The home of high-end and high-performance sports cars, the North American Road Racing Association pits mighty muscle against European exotics and boosted imports in their US GT and Whelen US TimeTrial Championships. The country's best club and regional racers, tuners and backyard builders test themselves against the pros and the top, most challenging tracks. It's man versus machine as they race the nation. NARRA's 2013 season started at Texas World Speedway. As the field jostled for position behind him, Fiorelli was leading the action-packed opening race of the US GT Championship when it all came undone. But was it man or machine?
It's been the driver before, but this time was the car. The car was running great. We got out to a lead and we're just kind of managing the gap, and we had a power steering bracket fail going into turn 11, which is not a good place to have that happen. It's about a 100-mile-an-hour corner, and so I went to turn and the car didn't want to turn and we went sailing off track.
Stout then inheriting the lead, but knocks right there as Loudon intimidates and takes command of the GT1 class. With only laps remaining, Galern succumbs again to the hard-charging Farmer, who closes in on Loudon and repeats the feat up on the inside into turn 1. Feeling the heat with GT1 foe Galern directly behind him, Loudon tries braking later, but on the transition, disaster! Into the grass, all his hard work undone. A mishap too for Kathy Stout.
Yeah, I was following Bernie and we were having a good race, and I guess I lost my concentration and hit third gear instead of fifth gear. Kind of bummed me out, but we're hoping that there's not too much damage.
Meanwhile, Knox not giving in until the checkered flag flew.
It was a hard-fought race with Jim, but we had a good time.
Farmer 4th overall and the GT2 winner from Atherton. Galern taking his first GT1 win of the year. Knox the GTX class winner. Vette another podium with Fisher. Katz home second in GTU, and Stout starting the season strong.
It's a good start for the way I got started this season with my wife's car, as we know, so it's a good way to start my car.
As for Fiorelli, he was philosophical.
You know, Jim was right there. He and Dan weren't falling back. They had a good pace as well, but they're just trying to save the tires and manage the gap, and they still might have caught me. You never know. We'll find out tomorrow. We're going to get it fixed. John Archer has a part for us.
Returning to the time trial action, and a realization for Rohrs as Perkins shot up into second.
I'm getting spanked pretty good out there. You know, I've never raced on the Hoosier slicks before, so I'm just trying to get used to those, the tire pressures. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the all-wheel drive fixed in the GTR, so we're just running it rear-wheel drive. So just trying to get the hang of it. Just faster cars, better drivers than me at the moment. So yeah, I got some ways to go.
With help from coach and son TJ, Messer applying the pressure to Costas for the outright fastest time. A 1:45.9 on his second lap, but Costas responds with a new record, and Messer was done.
We thought we could get him. We put a new set of tires on and cracked a brake rotor, so we had to come in on our second lap.
Bolden then chasing Costas for the unlimited win, becoming the only other to go sub 50 seconds. He was on the limit.
Coming off the straightaway down here into turn 1, it gets a little hairy, but if you're not making yourself nervous, then you're not on the edge.
Kroninger in the Chev-powered Miata with his best of the day to be 5th in TT2. Kelly also quicker, but the real mover in TT1 was Prochuk, cementing second in class. The score now settled in the faster two classes. Messer, the TT1 winner from Prochuk, and in his first time trial competition, Robson with an impressive third. Costas with the unlimited victory, and Bolden capturing his first ever second place, much to the delight of his car owner.
Elated is hardly the word for it. And, you know, I drive too, but my job is not to wreck the car for him.
So as those drivers added their names to the TWS history books, we thought we'd meet one person who's been a part of that history more than anyone else. That's because he and his wife have one of the most important jobs at the track.
We've been with the concessions, so we actually feed everybody that comes in. We always say that it's more like family feeding the family. We got to know most of the drivers and people. We go back with TWS as far as racing early 60s when the track opened. We've seen almost every major driver that's come through, from the Richard Pettys, AJ Floyds, Aaron Hertz, all of them have come through here at one time or another. There used to be big stage back here, and what would happen is they would have Willie Nelson, for example, a big Texas singer and famous artist. He would be here on the weekends. They would have big barbecues and stuff, so it was very, very lively. Pastorina and Willie, they would always ask for the barbecue. You know, they say, well, you're going to have to cook me some of that barbecue. So that was one of their biggest and most favorite dish, you know.
So, what's the secret to his Texas barbecue?
My wife does the barbecue sauce that I always say, it is not the barbecue meat that's good, it's her sauce that makes it delicious.
Back to the TT action, and only a handful of cars went out to try and better their times. The big question, could Rohrs upset the Rednecks?
You have to be confident to be fast here. I mean, coming off the banking at 157 into turn one, it's not for your average person, and you got to progress. You know, you have to work up to that. You know, the first time I've ever came off of banking on a transition like that, I was here, and I was doing 111. I was like, wow, okay, this is for real. So from the first session doing 111 to the last session 157, you know, you just pick up the pace.
And he did, dropping 3 seconds to be right there with Perkins. Realizing he had a fight on his hands, Perkins responded with a 50.4 in lap 5. Rohrs pushed again, but came up short.
Out here with NARRA, you got to earn it. Nothing's going to be given to you at all. It's amazing, amazing cars out here. I mean, cars I've never raced against, the quality of cars I've never raced against, you know, it is just phenomenal.
So Rohrs, humbled by America Muscle, relegated to 3rd behind Weathers and Perkins. The TT3 class won by Chevy Power 2, Roberts V8 Miata from Walls Mustang. But just as we were proclaiming Saturday's win for the Rednecks, record-setting Weathers had a revelation.
I am not a redneck.
Still to come on Race the Nation, all the action from Sunday, egress safety tips, and a surprise visit from an America Le Mans star.